Hello, this is Susalito FNFS presenting ZENER voltage regulation. Join with me and have fun. Following materials in experiment are resistor with 500 ohms with 5 watts, 3.3 kilo ohms of resistor. Next, ZENER diode with 3 pieces of ZENER diode with different voltage. We have 5 volts of supply and 9 volts of supply. We have breadboard, connecting wires, tester, and probes. So first, I will set up the schematic diagram of figure 1. So we will use breadboard, resistor, and we have ZENER diode, and then we have 9 volts of supply, and we will change it later with 5 volts naman after the 9 volts. So yan, that's the circuit of schematic diagram figure 1. First, we will use a 30 volts of ZENER diode that connected to 9 volts of supply. So first, we will measure the voltage drop in ZENER diode and the total current of the circuit. So first, I will measure the voltage drop of ZENER diode. It's 0.6 volts. So now I will measure the total current. The total current is 13.5 milliampere. Next, I will measure the total current and voltage drops of ZENER diode 2, which is 5 volts. So I measured 0.8 volts. Right now I will measure the total current, and the total current is 13 milliampere. Now I will measure that voltage drop and total current of ZENER diode 3, which is 9 volts. So I will measure the voltage drop of ZENER diode 3. So I measured 0.7 volts. Then I will measure the total current of the circuit. So the total current is 13 milliampere. So right now I changed the supply from 9 volts to 5 volts, which is charger or cord of the battery, and I connect to power bank. So first I will measure the voltage drop and total current of ZENER diode 1 with 3 volts that connected to the supply with a value of 5 volts. So let's see. So I measured 0.6 volts. and then I will measure the total current of the circuit. So let's see what we will get, what value is it. So I got 7 milliampere. I will measure the voltage drop and total current of the ZENER diode 2, which value of 5 volts. So I measured 0.6 volts, and the total current of the circuit is I measured 7 milliampere. I will measure the voltage drop and total current in ZENER diode 3, which is I use 9 volts. So first we will measure the voltage drop of the ZENER diode. So I measured 0.7 volts, and the total current is 7 milliampere. Now we are done in figure 1. Let's move to figure 2. We are now in figure 2, and first I will measure the ZENER diode 1, 2, 3 with a supply of 9 volts. And first I will start in ZENER diode 1, which is 3 volts, and I will measure the total current and voltage drop. So first the voltage drop of the ZENER diode. So I measure this 2.4 volts. Total current of the circuit is, so I'll put down and so I measured 10 milliampere. So now I will measure the voltage drop and total current of ZENER diode 2, which is 5 volts. So first I will measure voltage drop. So first I will set the range selector to 10, and then we will proceed. So here, so I measured 6.6 volts. Total current is 2 milliampere. Now I'll measure the voltage drop in ZENER diode and the total current of the circuit in ZENER diode 3, which value is 9 volts. So first I'll measure the voltage in ZENER diode. So I'm my scale resulted in 6.7 volts. So the total current is 2 milliampere. So now I change the supply from the 9 volts of the battery to another supply which is 5 volts. Connect the connector of the charger and connected to power bank. So first, I will measure the voltage drop and total current of ZENER diode 1, which is 3 volts. So first, I will measure the voltage drop in ZENER diode. So I measured 2.2 volts. And the total current, the circuit is oh I raised 25, and then so I raised in 25, and then I scale and I measured 4.5 milliampere. I will measure the voltage drop and total current of ZENER diode 2, which is value of 5 volts. So I will back to DCB and I will arrange the selector by 10. So I'll measure. So I measure. So wait a minute. Parts. So I measure 4.2 volts. And the total current. So I will back to DCMA and I will 225. So the total current of the circuit is sorry for interpret. So I measure 1 milliampere. And the last we have to measure the voltage drop and total current of ZENER diode 3, which is value of 9 volts. So first I will measure the voltage drop. So I'll measure 3.6 volts. Total current of 1 milliampere also. So I will measure it for verification. Yes, it's 1 milliampere. That's all for today. I hope we learned something from that. Goodbye and God bless.